Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another MAMJ Let's Play of Danganronpa 2. When we left off, we were exploring Hope's Peak Academy, which is really strange, and also, we popped up on the 5th floor, which I have no idea what's going on. Everything's glitchy, everything's crazy, my mind is just melting out of its, ears. My mind is melting out of its ears. That's how confused I am right now. Okay, so that's blocked off. Yeah. Okay, so we've been to the dojo. Where else am I supposed to go? Hey, buddy, how you doing? This hallway, it's kind of creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to go to. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like an invisible wall or something. Yeah. Oh my god, that was weird. His mouth just popped up out of nowhere. Wait. It's been too long since I've been at the school. Where am I supposed to go? I don't think I should go here. Is this the... yeah, that's the bio lab. Okay. So clearly it wants me to go somewhere, but not there. It's been so long since I played the first game, and honestly, that shouldn't even be an excuse because everybody else, you know, who played it from the first to the second, it was even longer for them. So, where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to go somewhere else besides the dojo, or just the dojo? Because it seems like the dojo is the only thing that's open and available to me. Class 5A, that's where no, that's not where I came from. I came from the middle of nowhere, actually. So let's see what's in Class 5A. Oh, another book. Okay. Why didn't I go in here? It's another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Huh? Wasn't the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? It's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little bit more about that incident? That is an amazing picture. I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who is known as a symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy Student Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. That's pretty tough. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of the Reserve Corps students who had been long dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. Oh! That's what happened? And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We're excited, Danganronpa 0. Like Chapter 0? With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Host Peak Academy. Yeah, no way at all, ever.
What irony! For a genius known as the Ultimate Hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent.
He always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But Ultimate Hope? Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said that reserve course students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Got another truth bullet. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Host Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's the other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident's really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Yeah, tell me about it. Oh my god, are they piling up? Okay. So maybe another room's open now? Is that how this is working? Is that my understanding of it? Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so you go to each room and it has a manga in there, and then you can read more about it. Got it. And there it is. What the hell is this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Everybody says that. Oh, the tarps. This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is it left up like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? Oh, silly, silly game. You know what? Let's just go ahead and read the manga. There's another manga just lying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Ooh, I need this one. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? They love that title, don't they? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. A story about a creepily drawn characters who got involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Host Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Host Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet, and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and the wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them. And soon, the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to a more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coups d'etats began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Host Peak Academy. A group called the Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Host Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of the society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as the ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. So it wasn't it yet? My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them?
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you?
Who would enjoy reading something like this?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy.
Enough! What is this messed up manga?
I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible incident that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that? Such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains.
This incident really happened? And I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real. Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world.
I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning.
Well, as a headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here.
He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps, no, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who's guided Host Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Host Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they're called Ultimates. Then, aren't the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Oh, how creepy would it be if he actually opened those refrigerators? Because their bodies are probably still in there. Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So, where should I go next? Not sure. Is it gonna freaking trip me out again? That doesn't look like somewhere I can go. Kazuchi, where'd you go, man? He's like, gone. I guess people just kind of move back and forth. 5B. Oh! I think I remember what 5B was. No? Which classroom had all the... Oh. No. I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. Hey, Kuzuria. When I went inside this room, Bastard Bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be crappy either way. So, I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Hey, Monokuma, what you doing over here?
Well, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right?
What are you doing here?
Well, there's another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga, so can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place.
A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots.
I'm seriously getting fed up with your babbling. Hurry up! What did you need to tell me?
It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about the ultimate despair.
Huh?
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive.
A high school girl?
Lady Junko Enoshima.
Junko Enoshima?
It's the former ultimate despair.
Former? Okay.
She created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the ultimate despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some messed up organization created by a high school girl.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it. That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reasons that the incident became the tragedy in the first place.
So, she even recruited people that would have been in a position to neutralize the threat? Then, what was their purpose?
What?
Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't make any sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do that without any purpose.
It was Junko Enoshima's despair.
Huh?
For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima.
What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is so full of despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving, for her, everything is despair.
What the hell?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea has been slammed right into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who have been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children.
They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Enoshima's name.
For example, they killed their family and friends, even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do.
There's no way something that crazy is possible.
Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Host Peak Academy?
Final days?
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history.
Hey, what do you mean by final days? What happened to the reserve department?
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, 2,357 students of the reserve department all committed mass suicide.
What? Okay, so I'm gonna believe that she made this department maybe before she entered Host Peak Academy and did the first killing she had to have, right? Because it can't happen after. There's no way it can happen after. Mass suicide? All 2,357 students? Not all of them. You got one standing right here.
Oops. Wasn't all of them. One person was excluded.
One person was excluded? Huh? Is that me? I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair, Junko Enoshima. Doesn't scare me at all. I mean, Junko Enoshima is already dead. Huh? Oh, that silhouette. It's been a while. Should we talk to him about that? Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Enoshima's really dead?
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait. What was that you said about the Killing School Life? Like, the killings we were involved in. They were killings that happened at Host Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her. Yeah, that's what it was. The Killing School Life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy. For a manga about the Killing School Life, it was drawn a lot with silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed Killing School Life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima's dead. It turns out the Killing School Life was part of that whole biggest, most awful, whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Host Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Host Peak Academy, and she took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel idiot. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing? The students of Host Peak Academy are widely known as the symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for their sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair, all at once. That's messed up. But the messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko's no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not, doesn't matter. Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is her enemy? Monokuma, you're being way too quiet. If Junko Enoshima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I could think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that Killing School Life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation. If the students from Host Peak Academy stop the real deal, There's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this really is an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting this somewhere? Just like the surveillance cameras during the Killing School life? Oh, updated. I was like, we already had that truth bullet.
Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh?
What? You have a problem with that?
Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it. Ah well, I'll just raise the flag.
Flag? What do you mean raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that?
One step at a time. You're getting closer to clearing my character out.
You're not making sense again.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy.
So I talk to you again?
What a surprise! Do you want to hear about the ultimate despairs again?
No, I don't really need you to...
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it was actually a term used to describe Junko Enoshima, the original ultimate despair.
He just started on his own. Am I supposed to be reading this again, or like, I don't know, I feel so confused.
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the ultimate despairs.
He's just going through the same thing. It's fine already. You don't have to keep explaining.
Huh? It's fine already, but I'm just getting to the good part.
Good word or not, I've already heard this from you before. Okay, so I should leave then. I thought he was gonna talk to me about the other stuff. Talking about Raisin Flat, 4th floor.
Stop it!
Huh? It changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden. What's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided I'm not gonna be surprised. Anybody would be surprised by a shape-shifting building. That's right. There's still time for me to be surprised by something like this. Oh, I think there is. I think there's plenty of time for that. Akata's switching her nose like a beast and examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened? Well, you know, it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. Huh? What do you mean? Who? I don't know. It's just my gut after all. But still, her gut is pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. And Mokuma did say something about the main cast coming. It's surprising, but her gut must be correct again this time. Oh, where am I supposed to go? Let's see, we're on the 4th floor. Here we go. Music room. Very weird place to start off. What is that? What is that? This looks like the music room. I feel like I can see something strange. Yep. Monument? And the piano's got like a weird freaking... Let's go with the hologram first. What is this? Words are floating in the air. This is like a hologram, right? The floating letters are forming a sentence. It looks like the passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have obtained the information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible that they may be targeted by the ultimate despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko Enoshima rallying them. In a worst case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the Killing School life. Also, if they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we could expect them to be quite valuable to us. However, we're still investigating the details of their origins, and we haven't located them either. We will continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we received a report from a research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope Peak Academy? 15 students? Is that about us? Excluding Chiaki, there was a part about the Future Foundation. There were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're taking us from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore. Maybe. I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering these memories we've lost. Yeah, that's what Monokuma wants you to think, though. Alright, what is this monument that's floating here? Looks like some sort of monument, but why would there be a monument in a music room? And not just that, the mark engraved into the monument is a symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol, there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Oh. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up. Wow. So Future Foundation was created by the survivors of the original game. I guess that's all the clues in this room. It's finally confirmed. The Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy, and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Shiki should have made that clear to us. No. As long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma, if he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko Enoshima and making us go through this. Also, this caught my attention in the email too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. Sorry, my voice is going out a little bit. There's no way this is a research facility. If there really is a research facility on this island, there should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow, there's still so many mysteries. Oh, this is weird. I don't think I'm gonna be able to, like, unlock everything in this episode. Because I'm guessing we're gonna go through each floor. Uh-oh, please tell me you didn't die. Oh, you're changing. Yay! You're evolving. Are you gonna... Okay, I guess you're not evolving yet. That's cool. Do what you want. I'm gonna wander around here, apparently. This feels different from a classroom. It's probably the office, right? I mean, the room kind of has that stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it does look like that. Yeah. More importantly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is this guy gonna be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already. More emails? There are letters floating in the air like the music room from earlier. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same one from earlier. I guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue your investigation. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they have lost Junko Enoshima, I keep wanting to say Enoshima Junko, the fact remains that they're incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy has not ended. Perhaps, there's still a leader on par with Junko Enoshima. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we will not be able to end this incident. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they're discovered. Everything for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does that mean... is this an order to kill them? That doesn't sound peaceful at all. Well, I guess it's understandable. It the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is as terrible as it sounds, then it's pretty much an all-out war. If the remnants of despair are the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily. Whew. Okay, what else we got? Blackboard over here. There's something written on the blackboard. What's written here? List of subjects is written on the blackboard in large letters. Just below that are the names I've seen before. You got Hyoko in the newspaper, Hajime, Nagito, Chiaki, Gundam, Kazuichi, Ultimate Imposter. They don't even get a name. Oh, that sucks. Teru Teru, Nekomaru, Fuyuhiko, Akane, Sonya, Peko, Mahiru, Mikan, and Ibuki. Okay, let's look at this image first, because this is like the founder, right? An extremely overwhelming portrait is hanging on the wall. I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into the placard says Ho's Peak Academy founder, Izuru Kamukura. The founder of Ho's Peak Academy, and this name, Izuru Kamukura. Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Another mystery. Alright, look at the newspaper. There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard. Below that, Hyoko Sayonji is written there. What's with this newspaper? What is this? It says Miss Hyoko Sayonji. That can't mean the same Hyoko, right? I mean, the Hyoko we knew. She was much smaller and looked more childlike. It was pretty much her defining feature. But the photo in this newspaper, in any way, I can see the resemblance to Hyoko, but her height and figure, it's too different from the Hyoko we knew. What does this mean?
What?
This lady looks pretty mature. Is she Hyoko's older sister or something? No, this is Hyoko Sayonji here. Oh then, Hyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name. An older sister with the same first and last name? That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at it for yourself. That's not Hyoko. But, did you ever hear her mention an older sister? Well, it's not like I was that close to her or anything. She doesn't have an older sister. Hyoko is the Sayonji family's only daughter. If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative? No, there's still too much of a resemblance. That's Hyoko. Huh? What are you saying? Hyoko doesn't have a curvy body like this. I mean, she was famous for her childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap for looking like that. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt. What are you saying? She's already dead. There's no way she could have had a growth spurt. Oh, with the mysteries and laying it on, just freaking heavy, aren't they? Okay, I know, I feel like I remember seeing something in the comments saying that, like, when you hear somebody being mentioned and somebody else being posted, like, it's not the same person? I remember reading that, but I don't know if this is what they're talking about or not, which is fine. I don't want to, like, have it spoiled, of course, but how can you be two different people in the same? I was gonna say, are they twins? That makes no sense. First off, she was an only child. Also, who would name their kids the same name if they're twins? That would be just so confusing. Well, regardless, all the clues I provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair. What the heck? This is the truth? If this is the truth, then Hyoko in this newspaper. Is he really saying this is the same person? This is impossible. I mean, how can there be a photo of a grown-up Hyoko when she's already dead? What? Why does this even exist? Could it be related to that list of subjects over there? Huh? If it says subjects, maybe it means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did that experiment change Hyoko's body? Oh, what am I saying? Just saying it out loud makes it sound kind of messed up. What experiment? If it's some kind of experiment, it would mean that we're also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are also written on the blackboard under that list of subjects. But what kind of experiment was it? What's going on? It's better not to have anything to do with time travel. Maybe it's people who got their memories erased. But that still doesn't solve Hiyoko. Oh my god.
Okay, with this, you've totally erased all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, Hajime. Now you shall go to the next stage.
Next stage? This is confusing. Okay, so we're on the 3rd floor now. Not again. The hallway is different from last time. I guess when that flag Monokuma mentioned is raised, we're getting moved to a different hallway than the last. But how can he do that? No, now's not the time to be confused by that. Thinking about that's just gonna waste my energy. I'm glad you're such a forward-thinking person, because I would be completely tripping out if this happened all the time. Are the pillars? Oh my god, stop with everything. Stop. You guys are making pillars disappear now? I just spat everywhere. Okay. Seriously, where am I supposed to go? These windows aren't supposed to be here. Oh my god. What even? What is this even? Seriously. Oh yay, the rec room. There's a billiard table, a dartboard, and a shelf lined with magazines. Also, the billiard table's just floating. We're just cool with that. It's just gonna float on and, you know, no big deal. It's hard to think a room like this actually existed inside a school. We got a file, we got a floating table, which I can't click on. Oh, this is wonderful. Just everything's floating. Why? Why is this a thing? Okay, I'm gonna investigate this room and then I might have to end this episode here. It's a file with the Host Peak Academy's seal on it. It says confidential. That means this is a big secret, right? Why would an important document be here? Why am I even asking a question like that? Obviously, Monokuma's responsible. Anyway, I need to confirm what's inside the file. About the Hope Cultivation Plan. For many years, Host Peak Academy has conducted rigorous research into various talents. The Hope Cultivation Plan seeks to use the fruits of our labor to further our true goal. With our hands, we will birth a true hope that will bring hope to the entire world. Truly, the program is the next innovation in providing the ultimate education. This plan has been the Academy's wish since its foundation, so we must succeed at all costs. What followed was a series of detailed instructions and intricate orders. It was full of difficult technical terms and I had no idea what any of them meant. However, the word true hope left a strong impression in my mind for some reason. The Hope Cultivation Plan was created for the sake of birthing true hope. Host Peak Academy is behind something like that? I really don't get it, but there's something about these words. True hope, huh? Okay, so we got the sofa, the magazine rack, a lot of magazine, okay, motorcycles, martial arts, sports, computer travel, even the magazine about cameras. Mahito would have been happy to see this. Aww. It's a nice, firm-looking leather sofa. It'd be comfortable if anyone could sleep on it. Yeah, except bad things have happened on that sofa, so let's just not. This hologram again. What's this one say? It looks like another email passage. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have finally succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. Though they are all dispersed, we were successful in acquiring all 15 of them. Due to the fact that we are unable to ask them about specific details, it is unknown how they managed to survive the tragedy. It's been reported that some are wounded, so it seems certain that they survived under harsh conditions. Over the course of our detailed investigation, we determined that they are the same age as the others. So we've decided to entrust them to the survivors of the killing school life. As for the remnants of despair, there are still no solid leads regarding this matter. We now have no information to report. We'll continue with the investigation. Once they are discovered, we shall eliminate them immediately. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. What is happening right now? It says here that they succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. That means they should have been protected by the Future Foundation, right? Then why is this happening? If the Future Foundation was protecting us, why were we forced to kill each other on that island? Well, I guess it's not possible that the Future Foundation set this all up.
My Hajime, if you keep worrying like that, you're gonna get a toothache and collapse.
It's your fault. What is this hologram thing anyway?
That's exactly what it looks like. They're the Future Foundation's emails. I thought they made the perfect clue, so I did a little bit of hacking here and there to get to them.
You can even do that? Whoever's controlling you seems to possess many talents.
Well, who cares about me anyway? It's not important at all.
There's no way that's not important. His true identity should connect everything to what's happening right now. Alright, I guess we'll leave this room. Why'd the music stop? Looks like I'm in a different hallway again. Pretty much used to it by now, but even so. What is this space? Am I dreaming or something? I mean, this is totally disconnected from reality. I'm good. Are you guys good? I'm floating on the ceiling right now, I think. And that is just trippy. I feel like I've learned enough today, and my brain is literally, like, when I take my headphones off, my brain is just gonna spill out. What is happening? I'm learning so much, and yet at the same time, feel like I've made so little progress. Alright, so if we're on the second floor, maybe we'll be able to get everything learned in the next episode and continue forward with Chapter 6. I guess we'll find out in the next episode. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next time, AMJ. Let's play. Tremble with fear, I will die twice? Is that what that says? Tremble with fear, I will die twice. Wait, did the other one say something like that? Hang on. What? Fate of the Togami clan. Guide you. I think that's what it says. Guide you, fate of the Togami clan?